Hey guys, tonight we embark on an enchanting journey through the lives of ancient Persians. Imagine yourself standing on the sun-drenched plains of Iran with the scent of blooming jasmine wafting in the warm breeze. We're diving deep into a world where lavish palaces held stories in their stone walls and caravans carried silk and spices across the horizon. But hold up, don't get too comfortable just yet. You probably won't survive this if you're expecting modern conveniences like Wi-Fi or even a comfy bed to land on. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Tell me where you are tuning in from and what time it is there. Now dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. The light from twilight dances upon the ancient lands, painting the skies with hues of orange and violet. You find yourself on a packed dirt road, part of the fabled royal road, stretching across Persia, winding through landscapes both familiar and strange. Traders and travelers shuffle past their robes, brushing against you like whispers of ages. The road is alive with murmurs in Old Persian, the metal clink of merchant coins and the earthy aroma of bustling bazaars. It was said Darius the Great commissioned this very road to crisscross his empire, allowing for communication and trade to move as swiftly as Persian horses gallop through history. Yet historians still debate whether it was Darius or Cyrus who first envisioned such a grand feat. As you wander, your senses perk at a nearby craggy village where structures huddle close against each other as if for warmth. The air hums with the melody of traditional rhythms played on the santur, a dulcimer-like instrument you hear for the first time. This quaint community lives by the calendar of Zoroastrianism, marking their days with spiritual rigor and joy alike. Temples devoted to Ahura Mazda, the Lord of Wisdom, stand in silent reverence their fire's eternal flames that symbolize truth and righteousness, dance with a vibrant life of their own. This faith, ancient as the mountains themselves, commands respect from mighty kings to humble villagers, infusing daily life with its reverence for the light. You notice children playing a game with sticks, one that resembles field hockey. A surprising twist meets your eyes when you learn it's a game older than the hills, favored by the nobility, and a testament to the empire's athletic prowess. The echoes of laughter hang in the air, a timeless reminder that joy can be found even amid dusty roads and ancient edicts etched into clay tablets. Wandering deeper into this time-worn land, night begins to drape its starry veil above you, and the world transforms under its nightly charm. The Persians admired the heavens, and you find yourself looking up toward the constellations that guided travelers and astronomers alike through their wanderings of both land and spirit. Sit calmly and trace your fingers through the air, naming stars as they did, wondering whether they too sought meaning in the infinite tapestry woven above them. Life here unfolds before you, like a tapestry itself, a series of threads each with its own vibrant tale. As you step from the bustling energy into a more tranquil place, a courtyard whispers to you with the rustling leaves of ancient cypress trees, thought by many to be sacred symbols of immortality. The scent of honey and figs drifts in alluringly wrapped in the song of a nearby lyre, each moment savored like cherished sweets, reflectively contemplating the continuity of life and legacy. And so the journey continues, evoking a longing to understand the people of this ancient world, their joys and fears, their love of stories and of other realms yet unknown. Continue to breathe in the mystique of a civilization that cherished the written word, a land that told stories of mighty heroes like Rostam, eternalized in epic poetry like that woven by Ferdowsi centuries later. The day unfolds into night like the pages of a scroll unrolling heedlessly. Here in ancient Persia, you find that time itself is but a stream, sometimes swift, often meandering, always flowing forward, yet forever looking back. With each step, you grow closer to this timeless place, feeling more connected to this grand tapestry of history and, perhaps more than ever, to the threads woven throughout your own life. As you listen to the whispers of the past, you find serenity in knowing that the journey itself holds the peace you seek, the echoes of a path traveled many times before destined to be walked upon, long after you too pass into the stories of those who will follow. With your eyes gently closing, the laughter of children playing fades into the soft hum of history's gentle lullaby, a soothing reminder of all that has been and all that will come again, eternally connected by the subtle bonds of time. Sleep now, dream deep, and allow the past to cradle you into its quiet embrace. The morning sun gently pours over the expansive lands of ancient Iran, painting the vast horizon with hues of gold and rose. As you journey through this rich and varied landscape, your eyes might struggle to take in the grandeur of the day-to-day life unfolding around you. From the mighty peaks of the Alborz Mountains to the fertile valleys below, there in the distance the majesty of the Shah's palace glistens under the sun, standing as a testament to the authority that weaves the intricate tapestry of society. The Shah, a figure of immense power, almost unattainable in his magnificence, presides over all. You'd almost expect to see him at the head of a table piled high, with fruits and elaborate dishes, symbolic of the excess and ceremony that mark his position. They say he speaks with the will of the divine, and you'd probably need an entire battalion just to carry his robes, decorated with opulent silks and intricate embroidery. There he sits at the apex of the social pyramid, a living God to the people who tread the earth below, like you as you meander your way through the bustling streets. Beneath this towering figure, the nobility spread their influence like the branches of an old and wide-spanning tree, deeply rooted in the soil of history. Nobles hold sway over key regions and resources, their importance reflected in the grand estates and beautiful gardens they call home. But remember, power is a fickle ally, and the whispers of court intrigue often cool the air as stratagem and maneuver ebb and flow like the endless tides. Yet the noble court isn't the end of the tale, my friend. Beneath the luminescent glow of the elite, the scholarly class thrives in the warm sanctuaries of knowledge. Imagine yourself stepping into a library where parchments and scrolls pile high. These scholars are keepers of wisdom, history, science, and poetry. They are revered for their minds, shaping the intellectual soul of the nation through Zoroastrian teachings, a faith of light and fire. You can almost hear debates on cosmic dualism echo through the hallways, while historians continue to ponder over the precise origins of these ideas lost amid centuries past. As you pull back from the quiet intellect of the scholars, the vibrant spirit of the marketplace overtakes your senses. You find yourself amidst merchants whose voices rise in a crescendo of barter and negotiation, trading everything from exotic spices to finely woven Persian rugs. It might surprise you to learn about the silent language of nods and gestures, a dance unique to each bustling market, but unerring in its efficiency. Merchants are the lifeblood of this ancient economy, bridging lands while traversing the infamous Silk Road, even if sometimes they get a bit carried away, boasting about their exotic wares. Just down an alleyway, the sound of hammer on anvil rings out as artisans coax beauty from raw material. Imagine the skillful hands of potters, painters, and jewelers shaping craftsmanship that rivals the stars' brilliance. You'd marvel at the detail, like in the intricate designs of carpets that recount tales of old. It's a symphony of creation guided by learned hands that turn the practical into the extraordinary. Even though some artisans claim their masterpieces surpass the beauty of the moon, only leaving you to wonder at such audacity. Beyond the cities, as your thoughts drift like a gentle breeze over the rolling fields, farmers work diligently under the sun's embrace. Fields are abundant with grains and crops fed by canals and aqueducts, a testament to inventive irrigation systems passed down through generations. There's a serene beauty in the rhythm of their work, a timeless cycle of sowing and reaping. You find it comforting, this tie to land and family. Who knows, some unsung hero here might have been the very first to cultivate the pomegranate tree, a humble beginning for this now beloved fruit. Looming over all these lives like a whispering wind, the spiritual essence of the land surges forth. Here, fervent priests and religious figures hold sway beneath the light of the eternal flame in Zoroastrian temples. You find it extraordinary, their belief in the duality of good and evil, a concept later mirrored and transformed as Islam spread across the lands. Perhaps as you watch a priest tend to sacred fires, it sparks a thought how beliefs evolve with time, guiding societies through the unknown. There's a captivating mystery in how religions weave themselves into daily life, claiming both heart and mind. Historians still debate whether the effects of these religious transformations were swift or gradual. But one thing is clear: these influences carved signatures deep into the soul of Iran, where faith and authority intersect. Just as gentle winds shape desert sands, spiritual leaders have molded the thoughts and dreams of people here over centuries. And so, as the sun sets over the horizon, casting long shadows across a land rich in lore, you are left standing amid the echoes of ancient civilizations. The story of this enduring terrain continues to unfold with every breath you take, reminding you of the vibrant, diverse souls who built a society from the whispers of the past and the hopes for the future. The stars twinkle above their light, a promise of eternity, calling you to rest and dream in a world that has seen the rise and fall of empires. As your eyes grow heavy with the gentle embrace of night, the narrative softly fades like the melody of a wind chime, leaving you in a peaceful slumber under the celestial tapestry above. You find yourself walking through the evening streets of ancient Persia, The air is cool and fragrant with the scent of jasmine and distant spices. You're drawn to the soft murmur of flowing water nearby, remembering the marvel of the qanats, those ingenious subterranean channels that gently bring fresh water from mountain springs into the heart of the city. As you wander with a sense of immediate immersion, you notice how the streets are clean, almost glistening, under the pearly moonlight, hinting at the deep significance that cleanliness holds in this culture. These ancient cities are alive with vibrancy, yet they hum with a calm dignity. People here consider cleanliness a cornerstone of their social lives, woven intimately into their spiritual fabric. You step through an archway, leading into one of the many bathhouses or hammams, a place where the chatter of daily life mingles with the gentle splashing of water. Your senses awaken to the steamy warmth enveloping you, a delicate contrast to the cool night air outside. It's almost as if you've stepped into another world. Inside, the hammam voices bounce off the tiled walls, tales of the day laughter, the soothing cadences of poets' verse. Here, hygiene is not merely a routine, but a cherished ritual, an immersion into serenity and purification for both body and soul. You silently marvel at the architecture, the way light dances on the mosaic domes above. Historians agree that these bathhouses were more than just places to cleanse the body. They were social hubs where people gathered, relaxed, and rejuvenated. But there's a hospitality here that takes you by surprise. A kind man offers you a cup of fragrant tea, hinting that it's brewed with saffron, a touch of luxury mingled with the everyday. You sip it gently, the warmth spreading through your fingers and streaming through your consciousness, like the qanats themselves, a testament to the Persian mastery of blending the utilitarian with the sacred. This is a society where cleanliness ties closely with spirituality. You recall the religious practices emphasizing purity, those moments of ritual washing before prayers, the ablutions that cleanse not just dust from skin, but cleanse the mind and spirit, preparing one for spiritual visits and introspection. It's as if, in maintaining external purity, you make space for internal clarity. Persians believe that taking care of one's body is inseparable from taking care of one's soul. Notably, you remember that historical texts suggest these practices were in place long before many other civilizations adopted similar hygiene norms. Yet historians still debate just how the Persians perfected the art of public bathhouses and intricate water channels so seamlessly. Was it brilliance, necessity, or perhaps both? As you drift through this scene of warmth and clarity, you cannot help but imagine the water as a gentle lullaby flowing over smooth stones, singing you into peace. Here within the hammam's embrace, you see how life itself is an interweaving of rituals, acts of daily life that make moments a little more sacred, a little more enduring. Even in the ancient echoes of splashes and soft conversations, you feel the narratives of countless lives, all intertwined with water's ancient dance. As you prepare to leave this tranquil sanctuary, the hammam's door opens to the natural world. Once again, a reminder of the endless cycle of cleanliness, the importance of water, both seen and unseen, that sustains you as it did them. It's where the spiritual life finds footing in the physical realm, advocating balance and beauty in every drop, every breath, every whispered word. Under the moonlit skies, you find yourself enveloped in once more. The harmony between the water's constant flow and the steady rhythm of life here in ancient Persia resonates within you. And so, with a gentle nod to the past and a quiet respect for the customs that have kept such traditions alive, you step back into the calm night, treading softly on the dust-free streets as the stars whisper their ancient stories, and the city continues its timeless guardianship over its sacred waters. You stand at the edge of a vast plain under the endless azure sky of ancient Persia. The air is warm and dry, carrying the faint scent of dust and distant spices from the markets you've left behind. As you steady yourself on the saddle of your mighty steed, the weight of your armor presses down with a familiar comfort, a reminder of your role in this intricate mosaic of power and prestige. You're a member of the Persian military nobility, and your life unfolds as a tapestry, rich with duty, honor, and an unswerving commitment to the Shah, your revered leader. The Persians, masters of empire, not only commanded vast lands, but also orchestrated one of the most advanced military hierarchies known to their world. Your days are governed by a code that shaped the elite warriors of the Achaemenid and Sassanid eras. This code is your compass, steering your choices with traditions laden with valor and humility. It is said that historians still debate whether these codes were more stringent than those of the knights who would follow in the later centuries. But for you, these debates are as distant as the lands under the Shah's rule. As you ride along the dusty track leading to the training fields, each rhythmic hoofbeat reminds you of the discipline instilled since your youth. Honor is valued above all the type of honor that demands the utmost loyalty to the Shah and the fellow warriors who ride beside you. There's a solemn truth in the fact that a Persian noble's word is as binding as the most ironclad of contracts. The path is flanked by tall grasses that sway gently in the breeze, whispering tales of battles fought and lands conquered. You've heard the stories 100 times, yet each retelling with its heroics and deeds beyond compare stirs a sense of pride within you. Your ancestors were among the builders of an empire that stretched from the Indus Valley to the Aegean Sea, and their legacy is yours to uphold. Training today is rigorous as always. The drill commands echo across the field, punctuating the air with sharp, imperious clarity. The mutual respect among your peers is palpable, woven seamlessly into every interaction. Here among the nobles, there's an understanding that your shared purpose transcends individual ambition. But there's humor too in this life of strict regimen. Just like the time when, while on early morning patrol, you encountered a caravan of spices, and one curious camel managed to overturn a particularly precarious pile of pepper sacks. The resulting sneezes and laughter were shared camaraderie, binding your band ever closer. Your loyalty, however, is not blind. It is an oath of fealty born out of mutual respect and understanding, as intricate as the weave of the carpets lying in the audience hall, where you sometimes confer with the Shah himself. His gaze is sharp like a hawk's, assessing not just the battlefield, on any given campaign, but the character of those who serve him. Evening descends gently, turning the sky into a canopy of cooling colors, mirroring the fine silk patterns you sometimes see woven through the tents at camp. A scholar's observation suggests that the Shah's court was among the world's most sophisticated, rivaling even that of great pharaohs or emperors across distant lands. You probably won't survive this serene view forever. It's a tranquil pause in a life, otherwise punctuated by strategic maneuvers and the care of steely weapons. As you set your gaze upon the horizon, there's a comforting notion that despite the uncertainties of historical interpretation, some aspects of life remain untouched. The relentless pursuit of honor, the close bonds of warriors and discipline handed down as tradition's greatest gift. The fires are lit, and laughter mingles with the flickering light as nights are long in tales and deeper dreams. The way of the Persian nobles is neither easy nor carefree, but it is a passage that imbues life with profound purpose and unyielding resilience. As you rest, the stars twinkle above, a gentle reminder of eternity's watchful eye. Slowly your eyes close and you drift into the rhythm of sleep, cradled by the ancient melodies of a land bound to the echoes of empires. In this gentle fade into darkness, you understand that each moment marked by the sounds and silences of Persian night is woven into the ever-expanding legacy of the noble life you've embraced. The cool dawn light filters gently through the cracks in the wooden shutters of your small mud brick home, stirring you from sleep. Outside, the sounds of roosters announcing the morning echo across the fields, their calls blending with the soft rustling of the breeze through the tall stalks of grain. You rub your eyes, shake off the remnants of dreams, and sit up, feeling the ground firm and familiar beneath you. Today, just like every day, will demand much from you. Rising to your feet, you take a moment to stretch, letting your gaze wander over the patch of land you and your family have tended for generations. It is a modest plot, but every inch is etched with your labor and dedication. The sky, still tinged with the purples and golds of dawn, meets the horizon where your fields are ready for harvest. A promising sight, albeit a fleeting one. The work begins early. With bare feet and well-practiced movements, you step into the fields. The earth is cool and moist, a comforting reminder of the season's generous rains, which have spared you for now from the harsher whims of nature. Yet as you bend to your tasks, hoeing, planting, weeding, you are keenly aware of another burden that weighs heavy: the taxes demanded by distant landowners, men whose names and faces you never see, but whose presence is felt in the diminishing toll on your harvest. As the sun climbs higher, the heat settles over the landscape, transforming the dew-damp surroundings into a golden expanse under a blazing sky. You work steadily, sweat trickling down your brow, determined to keep pace with the demands of the land. Your thoughts occasionally drift to tales of the grand cities in the empire, where noblemen stroll through shaded gardens and merchants haggle in bustling markets. It is a world that feels as distant as a dream, unreachable like shadow play on the horizon. But you are not alone in this struggle. Around you, other farmers labor with equal dedication. Each day, their commitments manifest, unfurling under the wide Persian sky. There is solace in this shared toil, an unspoken bond that ties you to your neighbors, and further to those who work the earth across the vast Persian Empire. Yet this unity is not without its fractures. Historians still debate whether these collective sufferings laid the groundwork for rebellion, a slow brewing tension awaiting a spark. As evening approaches, shadows lengthen, and a cooler breeze sweeps over the land. Gathering your tools, your body weary but resilient, you head home, where familiar comforts await the aroma of a simple, hearty meal, the soft chatter of family, and the thought of rest. You pause at the doorway, taking a moment to savor the pastel hues of sunset over the fields, a reminder that despite everything life endures. By the flickering light of an oil lamp, you sit with your family sharing tales of the day. Laughter mingles with the flickering shadows on the walls, the warmth and love that sustain you becoming tangible in this quiet time. Tonight you reminisce about the stories passed down through generations of ancestors who also tilled this very soil, who heard the evening song of the fields and witnessed the same stars appearing as night fell. Before retiring for the night, you step outside once more. The moon hangs full and bright in the sky, casting a gentle glow over the land. There's a profound beauty in this stillness, a rare fleeting peace after the day's labor. You breathe deeply, feeling a persistent resolve within you, a resilience that has sustained countless generations before you, and will continue to do so through whatever trials may come. As you retire to the warmth of your bed, pulling the woven blanket around you, the rhythmic sounds of distant crickets lull you. Stories like seeds have been planted in your mind, and as sleep takes you, they begin to blossom into dreams of a future where life might be different. Historians might debate the future's shape, but here, on your small plot of Persian earth, hope quietly weaves its way through the tapestry of your thoughts, just as it has for those who came before you, and as it will for those who follow. As you wander through the lavish palace corridors, the scent of cedar wood and exotic spices drifts around you. The walls, adorned with tapestries and intricate mosaics, tell of heroic tales from long ago. It's easy to picture yourself in their shoes, a young Persian training to become one of the esteemed warriors who serve the empire. But tonight is not about daydreams. It's about living the life of a Persian warrior, with all its challenges and honors. Every morning you find yourself in the training grounds with other young Persians, surrounded by vast open fields, bordered by tall cypress trees. The sun rises over the horizon, casting its golden glow on the ground, yet its warmth will never compare to the testing heat of battle. You hear stories of the rigorous training that awaits you, whispered by the rustling leaves, swaying in the morning breeze. The mountains are harsh, they seem to say, and the roads even harsher. You'll need endurance, for the trails you must traverse are long and arduous. Your instructors are relentless, demanding you master running, horseback riding, and weaponry. Not every aspiring warrior survives this journey, an ominous thought reminiscent of the warnings you've heard. Yet here you persevere. Your day begins with a run across endless hills and valleys, your breath merging rhythmically with hundreds of others as your footsteps beat steadily against the earth. You feel the thrill and the strain testing your muscles. Historians still debate whether these training methods truly pushed you to your limits, or were techniques passed down through generations. But they are undeniably essential in preparing you for the trials ahead. From here, you move on to the sacred arts of combat, trained under the watchful eyes of experienced masters. You learn to wield the spear and the bow, each movement fluent and swift, like the river that babbles nearby. It's fascinating the precision required to become a master archer, focusing on the far-off target until everything else fades away. They say Persian archers could hit their marks with unbelievable accuracy, their skills unparalleled. The secret, some might say, lay in their belief, but some whisper another tale, that it was all about the angle and the way you held your breath before releasing the string. As day turns to night, you find solace in prayer and reflection, engaged in the religious discipline central to your life. Zoroastrian ethics weave a tapestry of values shaping every decision, every action, every intention. The flame burns brightly within the temple, its radiant light mirroring the fire that fuels your heart. The priests teach you the importance of truth and order, how cosmic balance hinges upon these principles. Through chants and hymns, you learn wisdom that illumines your path. Tomorrow you'll confront new challenges. More than physical prowess beckons, or perhaps commands your spirit to stand unwavering. The Persian code is one of integrity, fairness, and loyalty to the emperor. Legends tell of warriors so loyal, they would spare even a captured enemy if the emperor's code deemed it so. Ethical decisions hold sway over the exactness of every strategic move, a moral compass guiding your every step, demanding responsibility in every choice. Still, as you lay your head down to rest under the vast expanse of the starlit sky, a feeling of tranquility washes over you. Remember, these stony paths have been trod before by those who carried not just swords, but also the burden of a legacy you are now a part of. You drift into dreams laced with images of the wise Zoroaster and visions of kings who ruled with both strength and benevolence. Your body may tire, but your spirit soars, awaiting the dawn with anticipation. Tomorrow brings another chance to embrace your training, to refine your skills, and to uphold the honor of the warrior way, just as the moon dutifully follows the sun. And as the night wears on, crickets sing the tales of battles won and honors celebrated, those tales that soon you too might be a part of. In this peaceful land beneath the silken sky, courageous endeavors wait alongside soft whispers of the untold adventures that are to come. You find yourself stepping into the grand world of ancient Persia, where the air is filled with the scents of spices and the distant echoes of languages long past. You wander through the corridors of a magnificent palace, its walls adorned with intricate carvings, depicting tales of heroism and wisdom. In this world, you're not just an observer. You're a young member of the Persian elite, waking up to a day that promises both challenge and discovery. Your morning begins as the first light breaks over the horizon, casting a golden hue across the sprawling gardens outside. The day's agenda is meticulously planned, as it always is. You start with a session in ethics, a cornerstone of Persian education. It's within these solemn lessons that you learn about truthfulness, justice, and respect for all beings, principles that must guide a Persian noble in both war and peace. Your tutor is an elderly sage, his eyes twinkling behind a cascade of white beard as he recounts tales of great kings and their virtuous deeds. Did you know that ethics, or herad, was so revered in Persian culture that it was considered a gift from the divine? It's said that a leader without herad was like a warrior without his sword. As the sun rises higher, you shift your attention to language studies. You're introduced to the beauty of Old Persian Aramaic, and perhaps a bit of Greek, or Elamite. Each line of script, every elegantly looped letter, tells a story of its own. You're captivated by the fluidity of the languages, how they connect worlds and open doors to ancient knowledge. Here's a nugget of trivia for you. Some historians debate whether all Persian elites were fluent in so many tongues, but you can't help feeling grateful for the opportunity. After the mental exercise, it's time for physical training. The transition from serene studies to the hustle of military exercises is always exhilarating. You are led by seasoned warriors, veterans, who have seen battles and carried home tales of epic conquests. You practice archery, the gallop of your heart, mirroring the rhythmic thud of arrows hitting their targets. With some luck, you won't need to face real combat, but you leave each session more assured, your mind sharpened alongside your skills. In the cooler shade of the afternoon, you're joined by the priests, who oversee some of your education. They guide you through meditations, reminding you of your duties to the gods and to your people. The priests, dressed in simple yet dignified robes, share stories of the divine tales of creation and prophecy that resonate with a warning softness, as if from another realm. They believe, as do many, that a balanced life must honor both the physical world and the spiritual journey. Your day winds down, and you find yourself gazing at the stars, reflecting on the vast tapestry of knowledge you're privileged to inherit. Just like the transcendental rituals that you observe, the stars seem to spell out patterns of destiny waiting to be deciphered. Some say these rituals hold the secrets of the universe, while others argue they are simply an artful illusion. Bedtime creeps in, and as you lie down, the rhythmic chant of far-off prayers lulls you into a serene repose. You pull the covers close, comforted by the knowledge gleaned from the past and hopeful for the wisdom the future holds. You drift into sleep, a gentle hum of satisfaction coursing through you, knowing that tomorrow will bring yet another chapter of this grand lifelong education. The evening air is cool as you find yourself transported back through the misty veil of time to a period where empires were built not by walls, but by the strength of loyalty and the power of solemn vows. Picture this. You stand amidst a sprawling kingdom under the rule of a Shah, a mighty figure whose gaze seems to carry the weight of the entire empire. Around you, an array of warriors and advisors gather, each one about to declare their unwavering allegiance, willingly binding their fate to this singular leader. The soft glow of 1,000 lanterns flickers across the courtyard, casting long shadows that dance in rhythm with the soft whisper of the night wind. Your senses are alight with the fragrances of exotic incense, a sensory reminder that this is no ordinary evening. The scene unfolds before you, an ancient rite of loyalty, solemn and profound, its origins lost to the sands of time, yet palpable in its significance tonight. As you watch one by one, each member of this royal assembly approaches a dignified platform where a sacred text rests upon a golden pedestal. You can sense the words of wisdom contained within whispers of eternity, inked in ancient letters, hinting at mysteries known only to the ages. Each individual places their hands gently upon this sacred book, reciting an oath that binds their lives, their honor, and their fortunes to the Shah and his empire. Now, in the hush that follows the whispered oaths, ceremonial daggers, each a masterpiece of craftsmanship, are drawn, their blades catching the moonlight in a fleeting shimmer. These daggers, adorned with jewels and etched with stories of valor, serve as symbols of the ultimate pledge. There is an eerie beauty in the way they are held, not as weapons, but as tokens of fidelity, underscoring the gravity of the commitment made this night. You might be pondering, what if someone breaks this vow? Well, here's the reality. Check to break an oath like this is nearly unthinkable, a path fraught with peril. But you've come too far on this gentle journey to worry about renegades or whispers of rebellion tonight. Historians still debate whether every soul at these ceremonies felt the weight of their pledge, or if the ritual served as more of a formality, yet the solemn expressions paint a picture of profound sincerity. Among those sworn this night, you perceive both the young and the seasoned, the hopeful and the wise, each playing their part in this grand tapestry of allegiance. It's a testament to the unity believed essential for the prosperity and protection of their realm. In the whispers exchanged afterwards, you hear tales of legendary shahs who once led their people to unprecedented glory, fueled by the power of such oaths. Interestingly, it is said that some attending this sacred event do so with talismans hidden beneath their garments, perhaps a family heirloom or a token of faith, lending silent support as they pledge their hearts and swords to the Shah. These subtle charms go unnoticed to the untrained eye, but are significant to those who hold them close, bridging the personal with the spiritual. As the ritual reaches its crescendo, you feel the night air growing softer, the stars above, twinkling in shared secret, keeping vigil over the hushed promises made below. Such is the nature of these nights, wrapped in tradition and cloaked in the heavy mantle of history. These oaths you gather are threads in a vast, intricate fabric that has woven together rulers, warriors, and courts for millennium upon millennium. You think back to how the ceremony started, like a distant memory already shading into legend. This evening marks more than an alliance or the marking of loyalty. It represents a moment that transcends the shifting sands of time itself. As you stand amid this solemn spectacle, your heart swells with a sense of belonging to something ancient, something enduring, its significance whispered, not in words but actions. Now, as the last of the ceremony begins to draw to an end, the heralds lift their trumpets in a gentle fanfare, signaling the close of this binding tradition. You can almost sense the weight lifting from the shoulders of those who took the vows, replaced by a serene pride, knowing they belong to a legacy that outlasts the fleeting hardships of their times, just like that comforting blanket of stars, reassuring them from above. Your mind travels in soft circles around these thoughts, carried on the breeze that quietly echoes with past promises. The edges of your awareness gradually blur and soften, lulling your senses into the comforting safety of rest, where the echoes of oaths become the gentle lullabies of dreams yet to come. As the air grows stiller and the light more golden, you prepare to drift on the currents of this ancient evening, knowing the tale of these loyal souls will accompany you into a peaceful night. As you find yourself engulfed in the twilight of ancient Persia, you can almost feel the soft rustle of the desert wind mingling with the stories of a civilization rich in history and complex customs. You're not just a spectator in this tale, you are a traveler, immersing yourself in the whispers of a culture where honor and shame weave a complex tapestry of human experience. In the bustling marketplaces of Persepolis, you weave through the vibrant stalls, each laden with an array of spices, textiles, and intricate pottery. The scents are intoxicating, and the buzz of haggling merchants and curious buyers fills the air. It's here in this lively heart of the city that you begin to understand the pulse of Persian life. But beneath these vibrant interactions lay deeper currents of societal expectation and reputation. You notice a young woman, her face a mix of anxiety and determination, as she hurriedly adjusts her veil. Rumor has it she's been involved in a scandal that has set tongues wagging across the city. The whispers about her linger like a shadow. As these whispers hold power, one true fact of Persian society is that social honor was often tied to religious purity, a bond not easily broken. Historians still debate how these intertwined themes of shame and religious impurity originated, but their impact is undeniable. It is said that losing one's honor in ancient Persia could lead to community rejection so severe that it could feel akin to vanishing from existence altogether. It's a reality that feels all too tangible here as you watch the young woman try to fade into the crowd, her heart likely pounding as she darts away. The complexities of honor are not confined to public spaces. In a cozy home nestled near the edge of the city, an elder sits weaving tales for the young ones gathered around him. He tells of the great kings who once ruled this land, whose acts of valor and wisdom can still be felt if you listen closely to the wind. His stories speak of a time when even the mighty kings were not immune to the lash of dishonor. One character from history, King Cambyses, is remembered not just for his conquests, but for his moment of infamy, a bizarre incident involving the desecration of a sacred bull, which caused a scandal throughout the empire. Imagine how such a faux pas wouldn't just lead to disgrace, but might send shockwaves throughout the realm, stirring upheaval, even in the temples. You can almost smile at the irony that in a realm of such grandeur and power, where kings commanded legions and reigned over vast territories, their legacies could still be fragile, precariously balanced on the opinions of others. Yet it all ties back to how community and spirituality intertwined in ways that are mesmerizing to decode. Even as you ponder, the tide of conversation flows seamlessly from scandal to redemption, showcasing the resilience woven into the fabric of Persian society. An unusual tale catches your ear. A merchant who had once been socially ostracized after a business deal went sour managed to reclaim his standing through an act of extraordinary charity, rebuilding his reputation one humble action at a time. It's stories like these that restore faith in transformation and remind you that while the pendulum of shame can swing fiercely, community bonds are resilient enough to support redemption for those willing to seize it. Historians still debate whether such acts of redemption were always successful in fully restoring one's status, but the possibility offered hope in a society that revered both social standing and spiritual purity. As the evening sky begins to blanket the world in stars, you feel a sense of calm wash over you. The world becomes softly quiet, like a lullaby, coaxing you towards rest, inviting you to reflect on the day's journey through this intricate tapestry of human experience. You find yourself amidst a community of seasoned Persian warriors, each meticulously preparing for the day ahead, a significant ritual before battle unfolds. The air is thick with determination and a hint of reverence. You notice the warriors move with a rhythmic flow as if part of an ancient dance they've performed countless times before. They gather in small groups, forming quiet circles, their expressions serene yet resolute. Whispers of sacred prayers fill the air, their soft hums and intonations blending with the symphony of desert winds. Here, prayers are as essential as any weapon, providing a mental shield that fortifies the warrior's spirits. It's said that these invocations seek the favor of Ahura Mazda, the god of light and wisdom, although historians still debate the precise words spoken in these ancient rites. Regardless, the words maintain a calming certainty that resonates through the very fabric of the encampment. Next, you are drawn to the site of a flowing oasis, where the warriors partake in rituals of purification. The clear water reflects the first light of day, a gentle shimmer that seems to cleanse the soul as well as the body. This act of purification is more than mere hygiene. It's a symbolic shedding of fear and doubt. Some warriors dip their hands and faces, while others immerse themselves entirely, a ritual as old as Persia's storied history itself. Once purified, the warriors move on to the tools of their trade. They begin with the shamshir, a weapon that is not just a curved sword, but a masterpiece of artistry and function. Its delicate curve and razor edge are legendary, known to historians for cutting through defenses with deadly grace. You watch as each warrior unsheathes their shamshir, the blade catching the light and reflecting it in glinting arcs. There's a moment of silent introspection as each warrior grasps the hilt, a weighty connection between past and present. In the midst of this, you find an older warrior teaching a new recruit the importance of respecting every weapon as if it were a trusted companion. He shares an unusual piece of advice. Treat your blade with camel milk. He says a curious tradition believed to maintain the steel's integrity, though its effectiveness might be more myth than reality. With the Shamshir's prepared, attention turns to armor fitting. Each piece of armor is carefully secured, transforming each warrior into a formidable figure of iron and resolve. Layers of leather are tied, chainmail glistens under the rising sun, and helmets are fitted with precision. The clinking of metal adds a tangible rhythm to the morning, echoing the heartbeat of armies beyond count. The process, carried out with serene efficiency, reflects the cultural pride in craftsmanship. It's not just protection, it's a testament to the Persian artisan's unparalleled skill. Yet amidst this, some question remains. Scholars argue over the exact materials used, suggesting anything from Anatolian copper to silver from Greek mines. You find yourself contemplating the sheer human effort poured into each suit of armor, every sword, every shield. It's as if the warriors adorn themselves with the legacy of those who've come before, wearing history with pride. As you observe, you sense that this preparation isn't just for battle. It's an unspoken promise to preserve the rich tapestry of Persian culture. The morning unfolds with a sense of quiet assurance. Every warrior stands ready, not just armed for combat, but cloaked in tradition and honor. You hold on to that feeling of being part of something greater, a timeless brotherhood stretching across the ages. Despite the chaos that might lie ahead, there's a calmness here, an understanding that transcends the trials to come. Finally, as the camp stirs into action, you find yourself immersed in the moment's serenity. The air is charged with anticipation, yet the rhythms of the morning remain gentle. You decide to step back, allowing the story of these warriors to linger, knowing that you've glimpsed a world painted with bravery and ritual, steeped in an enduring sense of purpose. You find yourself standing on a dusty Persian plain, the velvet sky stretching endlessly above you like an ancient scroll of stars. Around you, whispers of glory sweep through the camp, the hushed tones of men who believe that their place in paradise is cemented through valor and sacrifice. The Persians, you learn, have a unique view of glory to die. In battle is the ultimate honor, one that secures a hero's name for generations to chant in the eulogies of poets and the sighs of storytellers. Once you overheard a tale by the fire about a Persian hero whose name was Rashna. He stood alone against 100 foes, not for fame or riches, but for the pure duty of protecting his kin. His legacy wasn't just in the songs that framed his name with shimmering adjectives, but also in the quiet wisdom he imparted to his sons. Historians still debate whether Rashna actually performed such feats, but the truth, as it often does in these tales, might weave somewhere between what was lived and what was dreamed. As you walk through the encampment, you notice the stirrings of an impending battle, the rhythmic sharpening of blades, the soft murmur of prayers offered to old gods. It's said that these warriors believe in something called far, a notion of divine glory and grace bestowed upon kings and nobility. Meaningful death to them is almost mathematical in its precision. It means finding the perfect moment where valor meets fate on a battlefield. In one corner of the camp, you can see a group of elders hunched over yellowed maps and scrolling through time-worn tablets. Their histories, always swirling with a touch of romantic exaggeration, are passed down through oral tradition, where each telling adds its own embroidery to the fabric of the past. You've learned that in this world, legacy isn't simply the tale you leave behind. It's the way your story will sway through time like dance never quite settling, strange though it may seem even in their preparations for battle. There's an almost serene joy among these men, derived from the deeply held belief that their actions are tied to a larger cosmic balance. They don't fight for the sheer thrill of it, nor for unquenchable bloodlust. They fight because in their culture, the honor of one's ancestors can only shine brightly if it remains polished by the fearlessness of the descendants. You notice a young warrior sitting on the ground, embroidering his own name into a tattered piece of cloth. When you ask about it, he smiles and explains that once the battle is over, this cloth will be a testament to his bravery. Perhaps one day, long after he is gone, it will be a relic that helps his name endure the rivers of time, so someone years from now might stitch another tale of bravery beside his, just as tales of Rashna and other heroes continue to be sewn into the great tapestry of Persian history. The soft pluck of a stringed instrument drifts through the night air, and you spot an old man, a poet by his looks, spinning tales from a grizzled memory. The rhythm of his verses like a lullaby for those destined to meet their fate. It is said that these poets hold more power than armies, for they possess the ability to bestow immortality upon warriors through their words. There's always an element of mystery in the way each story unfolds. One person might recall the towering mountains and roaring rivers Rashna allegedly crossed in his legendary pursuit, while others might insist his true battles were fought in the fierce realms of politics and intrigue. Yet amid all these stories, the essence remains unchanged. A good death matters not because it serves the present, but due to its power to echo through the ages. It's calming in a way, this belief in martyrdom, that life, though fragile and fleeting amidst the chaos of war, has a purpose, a meaning defined not merely by survival, but by the lasting impact made upon the hearts and minds of those who follow. In these tales, death in battle isn't met with fear or avoidance, but with an open embrace, a chance to inscribe one's name among the stars. As the night deepens, you can't help but contemplate your own legacy. Who will remember your own tales, and how will they change when nestled into the dreams of future storytellers? In that moment under the vast Persian sky with echoes of ancient battles and the whispered songs of poets, you understand to live on truly is to honor the stories of the past while aspiring to write your own. As you find yourself immersed in the serene landscape before you, the majestic mountains of Iran rise with their snow-capped peaks touching the azure sky. They stand as age-old sentinels, whispering tales of the lands past through the crisp, cool air. The vastness of the desert stretches on the horizon, where the golden sand flows like an ocean in a continuous dance under the gentle wind. You brave these expansive terrains with a sense of adventure, but there's a playful reminder in your mind that whispers, You probably won't survive this. And you chuckle at the thought. Yet here, amidst nature's extremes, you find tranquility and a peculiar beauty. As you journey deeper, you come to appreciate the resilience and ingenuity of those who lived here long before you. Imagine a time when strands of vibrant societies dotted the arid plateaus, crafting a life intertwined with the unforgiving landscape. Here, survival wasn't a mere testament to endurance, but was an art mastered through innovation. Perhaps one of the most fascinating inventions birthed from necessity is the qanat. Imagine this, a seemingly simple, yet profoundly clever tunneling technique that captures the hidden, life-giving waters beneath the Earth's surface to nourish communities miles away. It's a system so efficient and ingenious that its origins remain entangled with scholarly debate. Historians still debate whether these subterranean wonders originated here or were inspired by neighboring lands you ponder as the tale unfolds. Besides these feats of human engineering, the region's stories are also painted with the moments of challenge nature presented. Earthquakes like invisible giants occasionally shake the land awake, reminding everyone of its untamed spirit. While these natural tremors are a forceful part of life here, they paradoxically cradle ancient buildings with surprisingly enduring strength. The mud brick structures, while appearing fragile, have withstood more than you might imagine holding within their walls the stories of those who slept under their roofs long ago. As you wander further in your mind, envision the cycles of drought that would scour the land with an unrelenting thirst. The merciless sun tempted fate each time it seared the earth, yet the people unfalteringly adapted to these rhythms, shifting with the sands as rivers of perseverance. Even amidst the stark harshness of the landscape, quirky details tickle the mind. Imagine a serene evening, adorned by the radiant view of the Dasht-e-Kavir desert, where centuries-old caravanserais, oases of respite, stand resilient against the stark sea of sand. It's here, under a canopy of stars, that scholars once speculated might influence celestial navigation itself. You sense the profound connection this land offers between the heavens and the earth. There's a soothing lullaby in the way the winds carry the scent of distant blooms over the arid plateaus, whispering secrets only those who truly listen can hear. The mingling sounds of the land-rustling sands, mountain murmurs, and the distant call of night creatures compose a symphony that cradles you towards a peaceful repose. As darkness blankets the land, you imagine yourself lying under a sky ablaze with stars. It invites you to dream of the stories engraved on the land, a testament to human tenacity and the boundless wonders of nature. Let the calming melodies of this ancient land guide you to rest as the story softly fades into the tranquility of night, with the promise of dreams filled with history and adventure. In the dimming glow of candlelight, you find yourself wandering through the ancient avenues of Persia. The air is thick with the scent of dried herbs from bustling market stalls, each with their storied uses in traditional Persian medicine. Though the distant buzz of the modern world may seem persistent here, you step into a realm where age-old wisdom and spiritual mysteries whisper from every corner. Tonight, your guide on this journey is the gentle embrace of history itself. As you stroll along these cobblestone paths, the herbs you encounter are not merely ingredients, but active participants in a grand narrative of healing. In this world, the fragrant saffron is not just a spice, but a symbol of wealth and vitality wielded by healers with a reverence that nature demands. Its golden threads, picked by hand, echo tales of their own, a luxury sought by kings and commoners alike. Among these curative wonders, astrological influences weave an even deeper layer to the tapestry of Persian healing traditions. You pause, leaning closer, as an elderly doctor charts the stars above. He murmurs about the movements of Saturn and how its current path might affect the balance of hot and cold in the body, a belief that transcends simple superstition, tapping into a blend of science, art, and fate. Historians still debate whether these celestial observations were purely medicinal or if they held the hidden weights of destiny itself. Beside the astrologer, a well-worn carpet serves as a stage for a sacred healing ritual. Here, the boundary between physical medicine and spiritual solace dissolves. The rhythmic chants that fill the air seem to vibrate with an ancient energy attended by both patient and healer. You catch the soft exchange of phrases filled with gratitude and hope, punctuated by the tinkling of a tiny silver bell. Surprising as it may sound, this melding of the mystical and the medical is no theatrical performance. It's a genuine expression of faith in unseen forces at play. Now the gentle sarcasm of a world less jaded by technology twinkles behind your closed lids. Yet even in this realm, expertise and experience lead the way. Each pattern, woven into the traditional Persian rugs that blanket the earth here, tells stories of past healings, journeys, and mysteries, known only to those who wove them. Just as the goat fat trick you heard of earlier, these details serve to remind you that surprises are not new inventions, merely rediscoveries. As you tread deeper into this narrative, knowledge and mystery converge like gentle whispers of ancient folklore passed down the generations. You wonder how many lives have been touched by these customs, how rooms without neon lights could feel this richly illuminated by the essence of what once was. Feeling the pull of the moonlit path, you leave behind the healers and their magic. An herbalist's gentle laughter echoes through the arches. Perhaps they saw the indecision in your eyes, that blend of skepticism and wonder that marks all travelers on this journey. There is comfort in knowing that some debates have persisted as long as the knowledge itself. Each historical fact written into the annals of time is but a single note in a symphony of uncertainties and lore, yet to be fully comprehended. The air grows heavy again with the aromas of balm and sage, a reminder of the earth's bounty and its ancient connection to the stars. You carry this fragrant wisdom with you as you step softly back towards the present, your pulse calm and your mind at ease. In this dreamscape, the past and present dance together as if choreographed by hands unseen. You feel the embrace of time itself as you drift closer to the threshold where dreams fuse with reality, each whisper a farewell to the waking world on this restful night. The cool desert breeze whispers secrets of ancient times as you find yourself in the heart of Persia, an exotic land where history melds with myth. The night sky above is painted with a myriad of stars, each one twinkling like a tale waiting to be told. You walk along a narrow path lit by the silvery glow of the moon, your feet treading on a tapestry of stories woven through ages. Here in ancient Iran, whispers speak of superstitions and folk beliefs that shaped daily life. You feel the vestiges of that past as though they are etched into the very air you breathe. Close by, a gathering of people sit around a crackling fire, their figures silhouetted against the warm glow. Invitations to join them are almost palpable, and you feel yourself being drawn to their circle. As you settle in among them, the warm light of the fire dances with the shadows, invoking a sense of mystery. This flame is not just a source of heat. Its purifying powers are revered, a beacon warding off the malevolent spirits believed to wander these lands. You remember hearing that fire held a sacred status among Zoroastrians, one of the world's oldest religions that originated right here. It wasn't just a means to cook or stay warm. It was a symbol of purity, a conduit to the divine. Lean in closer. Stories are starting to unfurl like age-old scrolls. Beware the evil eye. An elder with a stentorian voice intones, his eyes meeting yours with a knowing glint. This belief, both ancient and oddly enduring, insists that envy and malice carried through a mere gaze can bring about misfortune. To protect against this unseen menace, people often carried talismans. You learn the humble blue-eyed bead, still found in parts of the world today, draws its lineage from that very lands and times. Historians document these protective charms being fashioned in various ways, though no one is quite sure how they became widespread. But as you turn your thoughts to these amulets, you imagine artisans of yore, meticulously shaping each piece, imbuing them with not just craftsmanship, but a dash of hope against adversity. Your attention is drawn to the storyteller's hands, gesturing towards the surrounding landscapes, as if tracing the currents of invisible energies that the ancients claimed to detect. Omens, auguries drawn from the natural world were steadfast guides. The rustle of leaves, the flight of a bird, or the sudden call of a nighttime creature could foretell fortunes or misfortunes. An owl's hoot might prompt caution, while a fleeting meteor could signal a prosperous venture. You muse on how these interpretations of nature lent both comfort and terror with each sunrise. Yet there remains a cloak of ambiguity wrapped around these traditions. Could it be that their persistence offered a simple means to grasp the capriciousness of life in times less predictable? Or was it about weaving a little magic into the everyday? Even scholars today can only conjecture, debating the significance and origin of countless rituals whose roots lie buried deep beneath layers of time. Your eyes drift to the desert horizon, where the day's heat leaves a haze, lingering like the echo of a past conversation. This landscape, vast and untamed, has always held its secrets dearly. You feel a sense of connection with those who looked upon these same plains millennia ago, witnessing the same play of light and shadow. You reflect on the simplicity and complexity intertwined within ancient Iranian beliefs. Here in this land that has seen so much, nothing is quite as it seems. Each shadow beneath a door, each gust through palm leaves might hold stories untold. Calm curiosity fills you, as if this blending of history and myth has wrapped you in a gentle embrace of discovery. With a nod of understanding, you rise from the warm circle around the fire. The path awaits, leading toward horizons yet to be learned, yet to be dreamed. Embrace this ever-unfolding tale, rich with mystique and wonder, just like the night sky above. As the stories of ancient Iran accompany you, the desert whispers fade gently, urging you towards calm and rest. As the sun sets behind the majestic Alborz mountains, painting the sky with hues of orange and crimson, you find yourself standing at the threshold of ancient Persia, a land steeped in history and legend. Here in the heart of a bustling bazaar, the scents of spices and freshly baked bread mingle with the cool evening breeze. The air is vibrating with stories whispering secrets of a time when beauty and art were considered the purest expressions of divine order. You wander through narrow lanes, lined with colorful stalls overflowing with the finest Persian carpets. Each carpet is a masterpiece, woven with threads of gold and deep crimson, creating intricate patterns that seem to tell tales of their own. Did you know that Persian carpet weaving dates back over 2,500 years? Imagine countless hands, generations upon generations, working tirelessly to perfect this craft. There's a playful rumor, tracing back to a regional storyteller, that the weavers incorporate deliberate mistakes in their patterns, a humble nod to the belief that only the divine could create something truly flawless. As you leave the bazaar, your feet guide you toward a tranquil garden where the soft murmur of water from a nearby fountain invites contemplation. In this oasis, you immerse yourself in the poetry of Rumi and Hafez. Their verses flow like a gentle stream, speaking of love, nature, and the mysteries of existence. Hafez, whose tomb in Shiraz is a place of pilgrimage, often sprinkled his poetry with humor and wit, a little nudge, a reminder to not take oneself too seriously. Yet historians still debate whether the oft-quoted "the wound is the place where the light enters you" was truly penned by Rumi, or perhaps by one of his countless admirers. As you continue your journey, the grandeur of Persian architecture unfolds before you. The towering minarets and majestic domes shine under the moonlight, adorned with intricate mosaics that shimmer and dance. Picture the breathtaking structure of the Shah Mosque in Isfahan, where blue tiles catch the sunlight and gleam like 1,000 captured skies. There's an undeniable harmony in these buildings, where form and function blend seamlessly with spiritual symbolism, each arch and inscription echoing the cosmos above. Your path now leads you to a dimly lit atelier, where an artisan is lost in the flow of creating calligraphy. With each turn of the wrist, sacred texts transform into captivating art, the curves and strokes forming a visual symphony. Calligraphy in Persia was more than just writing. It was an art form that reflected intellectual refinement, a meditation for the soul. And perhaps in some corner of history, the finest calligraphers shared a subtle rivalry, vying to create letters so perfect yet humble. They'd make a philosopher weep, or at least smile a little in appreciation. And then, as if to complete this mosaic of Persian beauty, you find yourself entranced by miniature paintings. These tiny canvases, no bigger than your palm, are filled with vibrant scenes depicting mythical beasts and epic battles, courts of kings, and gardens of eternal spring. The amazing detail in these paintings, achieved with the faintest brush strokes, draws you in closer, inviting you to explore entire worlds within their borders. Some say these miniatures capture the essence of Persian visual storytelling at its peak, though whether Ali ibn Abi Talib saw himself more as a painter or a magician of miniatures remains a lively debate among art historians. As you sit back, letting the whispers of the past wash over you, it becomes clear that in Persia, beauty was more than mere aesthetics. It was an aspiration, a reflection of the divine, a quest for a profound connection with the universe. With each craft, whether through the loom, the pen, the trowel, or the brush, there was a shared understanding that beauty, much like the celestial order, transcends time and binds us in its eternal embrace. Now, as night blankets the land, you feel the gentle hush of tranquility settle around you, weaving into your thoughts like a comforting melody. You realize that this journey through Persia's cultural heritage is much like the intricate patterns on one of those exquisite carpets full of twists and turns, threads of history and heart interwoven, leading to an understanding that's both complex and beautifully simple. Close your eyes now and let this sense of serenity guide you into a peaceful, well-deserved rest. As you step into the land of ancient Persia, you find yourself walking through streets that echo with whispers of a time long past. The sun casts its golden hue over the grand structures, bathing them in a light that seems to capture the essence of the people who once inhabited these lands. You wander through bustling markets where traders and artisans showcase their wares, a kaleidoscope of colors and scents enveloping your senses. Overhead, the clear blue sky stretches infinitely, much like the Persian Empire once did, from the banks of the Nile to the lush valleys of the Indus. You feel a sense of wonder as the air around you carries stories of kings and poets, warriors and scholars. You're no mere observer in this moment. You tread upon paths where grand emperors like Cyrus the Great bent beneath ceilings of stopping columns and golden arches, shaping the canvas of civilization over 2,500 years ago. In the heart of the city, you discover a place of learning, a bastion of wisdom, where scholars debated philosophy and sciences, a precursor to modern academia. The library stands as a testament to the empire's intellectual pursuits, housing works that are said to have influenced Greek and Roman thought. It's whispered, though, who can say for sure that hidden within its walls is knowledge not yet rediscovered in contemporary times. Meanwhile, the palace gardens are meticulously crafted, bursting with the fragrance of roses and jasmine, designed not only for beauty, but to cause the spirit to temper itself amidst such splendor. You pause by a serene fountain, where the gentle trickle of water serves as a meditative symphony, encouraging your thoughts to roam freely through the corridors of time. It's here you realize the ingenuity of the Qanat, those ancient Persian aqueducts, so vital. They brought life to the arid lands, sustaining agriculture and turning desolate stretches into verdant fields. You're drawn to a temple nearby where ancient Zoroastrian priests once stood, guiding the faithful through rituals filled with reverence for Ahura Mazda, the wise Lord. You might not know exactly how these ceremonies unfolded, for some of their secrets are lost to the sands of time, debated over by scholars to this day. But the aura of deep spirituality is palpable, a reminder of how deeply religion was interwoven with the fabric of everyday life in shaping morality and guiding legislation. As dusk falls, you find yourself amid a vibrant community where social hierarchies interlock like the enduring designs of a Persian carpet. You see merchants, artisans, and farmers, each contributing to their society, yet bound by a shared identity. There are echoes of equality and injustice, both with a layer of complexity that historians are still unraveling. Amidst the ruins that now pepper this storied landscape, you discover traces of a civilization's ingenious advancements, exemplified by the Royal Highway, an ancient engineering feat uniting distant corners of the empire. It stands as a testament to an organized network of communication, akin to the intricate web of the human connection. As the day wanes, you're greeted by the cool embrace of twilight, ushering in a sense of reflection. You ponder the indelible mark left by the Persian Empire on world history, their contribution to architecture law, religion, and art serving as a foundation upon which future cultures built themselves. They left a deeply embedded legacy of tolerance, allowing different cultures and creeds to thrive within their expansive borders, something today's world grapples with achieving. Walking into the night, these echoes of Persia's grandeur and the wisdom gleaned from its traditions linger in your mind. Perhaps it's the softness of the air or the quiet companionship of the stars, but you feel the centuries of history drawing to a close within you, finding a resting place. Calmly your mind settles, as if strolling through the tranquil gardens of Shiraz, where the Persian poets of old spun verses of love and destiny. You can almost hear the melody of a distant santur playing a lullaby, gently cradling your thoughts. Each note a reminder of the enduring spirit of Persian culture, assures you there is still beauty and wisdom to be found in their stories. As your senses embrace the peaceful rhythm of this nightly journey, you begin to feel the weight of history tuck you in like a warm blanket woven from tales of ancient times. The sound gently amplifies a soothing chant of ages past, embracing the present moment with an air of tranquility. You drift gently into the night with a heart full of stories, yet untold, promised to unfold in the landscapes of your dreams. As you sit quietly, allowing the dim light of the room to soften around you, you find yourself surrounded by an age-old tradition, almost as if you've stepped through the sands of time into another world entirely. There's a gentle murmur of voices, a soft hum that echoes the chatter of busy marketplaces and the whisper of desert winds. You're seated on a thick, ornate carpet, its colors vivid and intricate beneath you, a rich tapestry of stories and skill woven thread by thread over countless hours. In the air, there's the warm, inviting scent of freshly baked bread, a staple whose comforting presence transcends eras. Beside you, a low rectangular cloth on the floor is adorned with an enticing spread. There's a simplicity and elegance in how the meal presents itself, contrasting with the notion of grand dining tables or elaborate settings you might be used to. Instead, the floor is your table and the carpet your seat, much like a timeless Persian gathering where food and friendship are shared in a setting imbued with history and culture's understated luxury. A platter of flat, round bread sits at the center, its freshly baked aroma mingling with the subtle fragrance of basil, tarragon, and mint. You tear off a piece, the texture delightfully soft, yet with a slight chew, just as it has been for countless centuries. Bread here is more than just food. It's the facilitator of each meal, breaking down both hunger and social walls. It's said that from the simplest of breads, the richest of flavors can arise, as the bread carries with it the essence of the land, the toil of the farmer, and the craft of the baker. Fresh herbs, a surprising yet refreshingly serious contender on this dining stage, are not mere garnishes, but an essential part of the meal. Gathered not only for their flavors, but believed to hold curative powers, they add an aromatic brightness to the feast. Historians still debate whether the ancient Persians believed these herbs could ward off the humblest cold or offer protection from the more mythical ailments of allegorical battles. As the meal continues, you learn about the customs of hospitality, which are striking in their depth and sincerity. The concept of mehmuni, the deliberate and lavish hospitality, extends far beyond simply sharing food. It's a cultural cornerstone where generosity is expressed through abundance and the pleasure of giving. This sharing of a meal on carpets extends a feeling of warmth and belonging, turning strangers into cherished guests. This deeply embedded hospitality roads its way through the Persian tale, a tale where host and guest engage in a flurry of gratitude and offering a dance of sorts that celebrates human connection above all. During your meal, a historical whisper weaves through the air. In ancient times, Persian royalty was said to dine with elaborate rituals, their tables laden with exaggerated displays of both food and power. And yet here on the carpet, you enjoy a more grounded connection to the past, understanding that the continuity of these traditions remains unbroken across the annals of time. Unusual, too, is the near-sacred attention paid to the guest who arrives unannounced, a tradition layered in respect and warmth, an implicit promise of food and comfort, regardless of the hour of arrival or one's status. It's whispered that perhaps this customs began as necessity entwined with storytelling. After all, in a land where travelers embarked on long, arduous journeys, a welcoming meal was as valuable as gold. As you settle into this rhythm of the evening, there's a peacefulness that envelops you, just like the shades of the carpet you're seated on. Beneath a canopy strewn with the stars of imagination, the world outside fades into a background hum, and you become part of this continuous, timeless tradition of shared meals and shared stories. The details of every conversation linger, for each morsel eaten is a passage read in this book of life. Each herb, a chapter, each shared laugh, a timeless narrative written into shared memory. Dinner becomes more than sustenance. It's an experience and elegance in serving a kindness in receipt. You experience for yourself the remarkable journey through Persian history, where food is both the path and the destination, inviting you to return another evening to partake again in the deep, savory art of remembering over dinner. As the meal draws to a gentle close, the air seems to thicken with contentment, as rich as the flavors that caressed your taste buds. You notice it's time to ease back much, like stretching out onto a warm blanket after a long day. With every detail lovingly tucked into the creases of history, sleep beckons with subtle insistence, much like a softly spoken bedtime invitation. You start noticing the gentle pull of rest as it tiptoes closer, each sensation whispering a lullaby from centuries past. The room's subtle hum grows softer as the conversation quiets. The echoes of past tales spin around like soft whispers of a breeze, stirring a long-forgotten memory. The textures of the carpet become all the more comforting as the night thickens into its deepest hues. The last flickers of lamplight begin to murmur their own good night, just as constellations whisper sweet dreams to those nestled under their watchful gaze. Each stitch of the Persian rug beneath you holds its own whisper, gently rocking you into a deeper calm. With a final appreciative sigh, you let yourself begin to drift, carried by the calm, steady flow of history's hum. The dance of hospitality echoes softly in your mind as you tuck yourself into the reassuring blanket of darkness. Let the reminders of simple joys and shared hearts guide you into a restful embrace. It's there that your thoughts wrap around you like a cocoon, a gentle shroud, leading you seamlessly from the vibrant world of Persian dining into the serene expanse of dreams, soothing you into sleep's gentle rhythm. As you settle down on your comfortable cushion, you feel the soft fabric beneath you sink slightly. The rhythmic sounds surrounding you, a gentle, comforting lull, become the backdrop to your thoughts. In tonight's journey, we find ourselves delving into the serene world of ancient Persia, where sleeping habits were as much a reflection of the culture as the art and architecture of the time. Imagine yourself in a Persian household. The night air is cool, but inside the warmth of woven rugs and padded cushions provides a cozy haven. You wonder at the culture that thrived on simplicity, yet embodied a unique, almost regal indulgence in their use of simple furnishings. Laying on the floor, you find that the cushions allow you to arrange your sleeping place however you find most comfortable. This staple of Persian comfort was not just for sleeping. It was integral to daily life, from sleeping to socializing. But here's the twist. Historical tales suggest that should you wear shoes while sitting on these cushions, well, you probably won't survive the disapproving look from your host. A faux pas of epic proportions indeed. The Persians valued cleanliness, especially in sleeping areas. Here's a historical nugget for your musings during the Achaemenid Empire. The lavish decoration of rugs and the precise arrangement of cushions spoke volumes about one's status. Elaborate carpets woven with intricate designs weren't just luxurious. They told stories of conquest, nature, and mythology meant to outlast, perhaps, the very walls that surrounded them. As the seasons shifted, so did the sleeping quarters. During the sweltering heat of Persian summers, families often moved their sleeping areas outdoors under the star-studded night sky. Picture yourself reclining under the cooling breeze, the desert winds, whispering secrets lost to time, as you drift off into peaceful slumber with your family around. The magic of these moments lay in the subtle connections formed, a shared look, the comfort of proximity, or the silent agreement of switching positions when someone hogged the breeze. Interestingly enough, archaeologists find that the significance of communal sleeping transcended social classes, a reminder that the divisions that might seem daunting during the day blur under the moonlight. Resting shoulder to shoulder with their community, the Persians valued unity, knowing that a night under the cosmos was a humble equalizer. There's a lively debate among historians about how much of Persian life revolved around these family arrangements. Did every household embrace the shift with each season, or did practical considerations take precedence over tradition? Nonetheless, within these contemporary deliberations lies a precious essence of Persian life, a shared cultural routine harmonizing with the earth's cycles. You revel in this imagined routine, noticing that it brings a charming order and predictability to life. Family ties are reaffirmed with each cycle, each season, and each nightly ritual. Wonder crosses your mind at just how universally intrinsic the act of sleep can be, shared yet deeply individual routine, yet ever-changing with the tiniest shifts in climate or design. As the cool breeze whispers through your imaginary setting once more, the story anchors itself in simplicity and comfort, reminding you that sleep, much like history itself, is deeply woven into every fabric of human existence. Imagine you're standing in an ancient Persian bazaar as the morning sun gently kisses the tops of colorful stalls, lined with vibrant fabrics and spices. The air is rich with the scent of dried saffron and cinnamon, a comforting blend that lulls you into a sense of timelessness. Around you, merchants boast the finest silk and wool, while artisans demonstrate their skills in creating intricate jewelry, each piece echoing stories of empires and eras gone by. You find yourself drawn to a stall that displays a kaleidoscope of traditional Persian clothing. Here, garments are not merely fashion items, but rather an intricate web of culture and tradition, each thread and bead imbued with meaning. You run your fingers over a dazzling robe, its surface embroidered with silver and gold thread that seems to dance in the light. This is a traditional chapan, a garment that has clothed sultans and peasants alike, bridging social divides with its rich history. Some say the flowing robes mimic the swift winds racing across the Persian plains, a symbol of freedom, much like the whisper of the cool early morning breeze. Nearby, a majestic turban catches your eye. Its spiraling folds are an enigma, a work of art that crowns the wearer with respect and status. In ancient times, the turbans of Persia were indicators of one's place in the societal hierarchy, each fold and color denoting specific affiliations or achievements. You might be astonished to know that despite the seeming simplicity, historians still debate whether these turbans also served as a practical means of storing small items or money, ingenious but still in question. The allure doesn't stop at garments. Intricate veils of sheer, delicate fabric float in the air, concealing while simultaneously revealing beauty and mystery, much like the stories whispered under the moonlit Iranian nights. These veils, more than mere attire, are steeped in symbolism, often representing modesty and respect, carving an invisible boundary respected by all. In this living tapestry, the women of Persia also don splendid jewelry. The pieces are astounding turquoise stones, set in complex patterns, reminiscent of the night sky swirling with constellations. These adornments are far more than accessories. They are talismans of protection and fortune, sparkling with the life force of ancient traditions. Legend has it that the Persian empresses enjoyed jewelry as protective charms, believed to repel all negativity, although tales often romanticize their true power. As you watch a woman clad in a chapasan robe walks past each step, a story told in fabric, the art of its design perfectly matched by the confidence of its wearer. Her walk reveals a royal grace, a dance of hues and patterns unique to the region she calls home. A surprising detail catches your attention: tiny bells stitched into the hem of her garment, a gentle chime with each step that's said to ward off evil spirits. Imagine that, keeping darkness at bay with only a tinkling sound. The bazaar is alive with the shuffle of footsteps and bustling voices discussing the latest imports, from exotic dyes to silks brought from China through the famed Silk Road. As you lose yourself in the tapestry of noise and colors, you notice that even the smallest detail holds significance, echoing the collective stories of ancient Persia. The array of regional differences in clothing hints at more than practical necessity, though. In Persian culture, clothing is a narrative of identity, pride, and affiliation, its designs echoing the landscapes and climes of respective regions, where the vibrant greens of a robe mimic lush valleys, and the dusky rust of a turban reflects the desert's fiery embrace. Each ensemble worn might be an unspoken story of familial lineage skills passed down through generations like secrets kept close to the heart. As you continue meandering through the lively bazaar, you pause to admire the enchanting fusion of practicality and art, the marriage of cultural diversity spilling over in vibrant waves. You're part of history's grand fashion show, and yet it's about more than what meets the eye. It's a living, breathing homage to humanity's shared journey, existing at the crossroad of necessity and elegance, tradition and transformation. The sun begins to dip low on the horizon, casting golden hues over the stalls, marking the close of another day in this endless tapestry of life. You might never craft a turban or robe yourself, but you carry a magical seed hidden in these stories that could one day bloom into wisdom or something else entirely unexpected. You realize that clothing here is not merely the fabric worn, but the experience, the lived life within them. It's like reading an unwritten biography where every fold in a turban, every embroidery in a robe tells tales of a civilization that danced and thrived in the cradle of humanity. And as the sounds of the bustling market fade into the gentle hum of the evening, you find peace in knowing that these stories of traditional clothes are not lost to time, but continue woven into the very fabric of the Persian soul. Slowly, just like the colors of a Mesopotamian sunset blending into night, your journey in this time-traveled dream begins to soften gently, winding down to a quiet, restful end. May these whispers of history guide your dreams, calming winds through ancient silk As you feel the soft texture of the earth beneath your fingers, you realize how the ground tells stories of the past and dreams of the future. It's the heart of life, in the seasons of an ancient time where the Persian calendar played a defining role in every day's rhythm. You're standing in a field, not unlike those surrounding the ancient city of Persepolis, where farmers gazed at the sky, reading the stars as they shaped their crops. It's the first day of spring, the air filled with anticipation and the scent of blossoms. The festival of Nowruz, marking the Persian New Year, infuses the land with a sense of renewal and hope. Even centuries ago, this celebration was a profound experience celebrating rebirth, just as buds dared to sprout from the earth's embrace. People wore their finest garments, and you can imagine gatherings around the half-seen table, laden with symbols of health, wealth, and fertility. One particular tale transports you back as you imagine yourself weaving through stalls in a bustling bazaar. Traders from far lands bring vibrant fabrics and rare spices, the air festive, yet grounded in an awareness of seasonality. Thoughts may linger on whether celestial alignments influenced these traditions, or if it was intuitive wisdom that guided such practices, a point historians still debate. As you wander through this ancient market in your mind, you feel a deep connection with the patterns of life, each detail based on a calendar that seamlessly interwove every person's daily existence with the cosmic dance above. Back in those times, farmers relied on its precise predictability for agricultural planning, a must for prosperity. The month Khordad, for instance, was not just a span of days. It heralded the time for harvest after months of hard labor. The daylight stretched longer, giving more hours to work, play, and celebrate with loved ones. As night wrapped the landscape in a velvety blanket, the world prepared for the next day's endeavors. Whereas today, you might adjust a clock. Back then, people simply followed the sun's gentle guidance. And in that natural pacing, there was a certain elegance, perhaps, something we've lost in our pursuit of precise hours and minutes. You sit for a moment outside on a warm night, closing your eyes, as the gentle whispers of the past sing you a lullaby. The cool breeze on your face is like a story told for millennia, how people would gather, recounting tales and dreams centered around their shared experience of time. Drifting further into the calm embrace of the Persian night, you let your thoughts wander, like the migratory birds tracing centuries-old routes across the sky. You imagine these birds have witnessed countless Nowruz celebrations, echoes of children's laughter, and the whispers of crops growing tall. With each breath and every detail of this vibrant history, you'll find comfort in these ancient rhythms where lives were lived with an exquisite awareness of nature's patterns. Your mind lingers on that curious interweaving of myth, belief, and reality that colored daily lives and monumental events alike. As you ease into the comfort of stillness, the images of sunlit fields and starry skies begin to blur like a watercolor painting, blending beautifully into the page. The world of the Persian calendar slips into the gentle flow of your dreams, an unending cycle of harmony and change, a lullaby made of the past. Quietly, softly, You lose yourself within these stories, aware that you'll carry this world with you, held in the warmth of memory when you awake again. Rest now in this timeless place between yesterday and tomorrow.